Your final realization is that there's nothing to transcend. Everything is as it has always been. Nothing real has ever been threatened. Nothing unreal has ever existed. Peace of God has always been. Not to has always been. Dreamers dream safely in the divine domain. Has anyone ever gained from comparing themselves to another? I'm just curious. I don't know why there's such an addiction to it. What is there to be gained by it? If it's in another, you'll never embody those qualities anyway, so what's the point of comparison? It doesn't make any sense. Comparison is just, I don't know, silly. It's best to be wholly responsible. It's not quite right, but it's so minute that I don't think we'll be able to adjust. They make a lot of sense, don't they? You didn't think that it would be like that. You didn't think that it would make perfect sense. No. You thought it would be something abstract. No, it makes perfect sense. Reality makes perfect sense. Out in the open, not hiding from anyone. But see, the elements involved, and I put this together yesterday, I think you're going to get this. I got really excited about it. It was like when the old man came running down the stairs one day and said, "Hey, I got it! Are you ready? There's only one of us!" Dead silence. Huh? There's only one. This one's a little bit like this. The child of perfect giving and perfect receiving is perfect innocence. The child being creation, or the offspring, or what comes naturally as a result of. What extends from, can be another way of saying it. So what extends from perfect giving and perfect receiving, what extends from that is perfect innocence. As something visceral, as something tacit, as amrita. Extends naturally, nothing can be done about it. And in fact, every time we attempt to do something about it, we diminish the flow. One way of saying. But that communication, if it stays open, is a conduit or a channel for the descent of grace. That's affecting everything. When I'm healed, I'm not healed alone. But the channel stays open. words, the giving and receiving is in balance. It's perfectly balanced. That's why you're given a context in which you can give what you receive. But it has to be balanced. And that's a wholly subjective matter. You know when you're doing it because you're happy. You feel good. You feel like everything's going to be okay. Now, ultimately, the marriage reveals that the perfect give and the perfect receiving are the same. There's only one. That's the extension. But it has to be demonstrated in your case where you stand, because there's no, you're not going to fool me. I'm looking at you. There's no denying that you're associating with a body identification. I mean, you can't deny it. My confession is that you're doing that within the greater context of that which is always already the case, so there's no cause for concern. That's the best I can do. But you still have to manage the ordeal of transcending your residual karmic memory. My instruction to you is what I just delivered. Perfect give, perfect giving, perfect receiving. As a demonstration of the reality of the kingdom of heaven here and now, right where you stand. Does it matter to whom? And please, you don't need to get into specifics. That's painful at this point. Perfect give is the same as perfect transparency. Perfect, not holding anything back, not a single thought. One thought held back renders the give imperfect. One thought. Which thought is it? Don't let it be any. You know, you have that choice to not let any thought stand between you and reality. You have that thought, you have that capacity right now. What do you say? Is now the time? Now, it could look like all of the gestures that are on display. But let this be entirely abstract by allowing each to be wholly in a disposition of either giving or receiving. In other words, no comparison. Da teaches it as the universe is a perfectly orchestrated symphony. He uses machine, but it's the same idea. Everyone is in exactly the right place, doing exactly the right thing for the fruition of that one's reunion with God. When you see that as the case, it doesn't matter the particulars of your function. The specifics of it doesn't matter. Because all you're seeing is that, all you're sharing is that vision. Ah, I see, everything is exactly right. Everything is perfect. What a relief. Then the give is total. receiving is total. And then the grace extends, the innocence extends. Suddenly we're creating. And what we create can translate into an effective means for cleaning up the planet, for instance. That could actually happen. And it could happen in an instant. It's not a big deal. Do you know what I mean? This is the big deal. This joining is the big deal. From here, miracles are natural. Not a big deal. You can turn in an instant. Everything is like, when Superman will come and he'll spin the planet backwards. It's a really good scene. You know the one I'm talking about? He doesn't know, it's too late, everything's gone. His girlfriend's dead, that's it, nothing he can do. So he has the idea. He's going to spin the earth backwards to go back in time. So he spins it back to 40 minutes earlier and then starts rotating it again. And then he's able to save the girl. It's a little bit like that. What you remember never was. Holy shit, get your mind around that one. You see that from a disposition of total give. You understand that memories are past and gone. They have absolutely no power. But all power is in you to set that in motion or to take a breath and make another choice. And in that instant, you serve as this conduit or this channel for this descent of grace. And it could look like anything. It could look like you participating in any number of... It's not about that. Right now, from where I stand and what I'm offering, it's about creation. It's about the extension of the love that we've already found, and we don't need to keep refining it through the conversions of unnecessity. We don't need to do that anymore. Yeah, agreed. Yes. John, we've been together from the fucking beginning. This has all been creation for us. We tooled around with the medium, but okay. We keep this in focus and then everything will just happen naturally. And then when you paint or when you write or when you do music, it'll be a natural expression or extension of this light. And they're going to eat it up. It's what the world is waiting for, a real communication. Wait a minute, this thing speaks to me. This isn't same old, this is delivering a fucking message. It's what Juliana found with Charlie. You're speaking to me. You're not speaking to me, you're speaking to me. I'm hearing you. I'm feeling God. That's a total. Well, you're witnessing is how natural it is to give wholly. In other words, to be yourself. But it's not natural within the context that was designed to deny it. It's not natural in that context. It's natural in this context, where we gather with a new purpose, a new direction, a new goal. What does it mean to give everything, to be holy, to be perfectly giving? What does that mean? It means to sacrifice everything for the sake of love. Everything. Doesn't matter. Even if it's denied. Sacrifice that too. Sacrifice the suffering associated with denial of your love. I've been doing it forever. That's no big deal. Okay, so once again, where there's perfect giving and or perfect receiving, there must be perfect peace. It must be so. So, if peace is absent, then the giving and or the receiving is not perfect. And that's up to you. It's not up to anyone else. That's up to you. That's your part in it. That's your sadhana, to learn to give and receive perfectly. It's the same as perfect practice. I'm so tired of words. It's self-evident. It doesn't have to be explained. But it is a total gesture. It's a relinquishment of everything else. Everything else. There's nothing else. Useless. All that matters is keeping this channel open. I don't give a fuck what it takes. I mean, in terms of my determination to transcend whatever apparent obstacles arise. I think there's an understanding now that there's no order of difficulty in miracles. Yes, if you understand that idea, now raise your hand. I mean, you've been shown that pretty consistently across the board. That being said, what about the miracle of the awakening of mankind? What about that miracle? Is that too difficult? The more it's accepted, the more quickly it occurs. We collapse time. That's what the miracle does, collapses time. So that humanity learns sooner rather than later. Does that mean there's a necessary sorting out? Yeah, of course. Does it look like? It's all of time going on right before your eyes. It's like on display, the history of man, all in one compacted episode. Is atonement perfect innocence? As an awakener, I had to perfect my give by practicing infinite patience. Just really revealed a little bit of myself to you. Because in the beginning I had no patience. Not at all, because it was so self-evident. I couldn't believe that it wasn't instantly received. Not even my wife at the time. Where were you? I'm looking over. The tendency toward the familiar is very, very strong. It takes sadhana to transcend that. I don't know what even a single thing is. Class? I don't know what even a single thing is. Yeah. I'm showing you forgiveness and how it offers you everything that you want. Because what you really want is to escape from the bondage of self-concept. Oof.